This is vegetarian borscht or beet soup. Got beets, carrots, sweet potatoes, cabbage, onions is the basis. I'm going to chop up some of this dill. I'm going to take off some of the stems and chop that up as a garnish, and also have some sour cream. Those are optional garnishes. Then we're going to chop up. This is going to be rustic. I'm not even going to peel it. You're mostly not going to notice the peel because you're boiling it so long and you're blending some of it. But I like to think of it as chunky, a little rustic. And I think soup is hard to make, so I'm trying to, there's a lot of cutting, so I'm trying to make this a little bit easier, and it still tastes delicious and healthy and nutritious. I'm cutting up half of a small cabbage, a medium sweet potato, 2 medium carrots, 2 to 3 beets. These amounts are arbitrary, right? If you got a smaller sweet potato, make it up with something else. The most important part is that you want the water to cover the ingredients by about 1/4 of an inch. Start with less water because you can always add a little bit of broth. Actually, it's broth. You could add broth or liquid or water later. I'm not going to peel any of these. If your beets are older, you're going to want to peel it. And I'm making these into chunky pieces. The chunkier they are, the longer it takes to cook. This, generally takes 30 minutes. These are a little chunkier. They'll take 35. If you cut them smaller, it will take 25. Anyway, we got a medium stock pot, medium-high heat. Add some olive oil or high heat vegetable oil. Cook the onions about 5 minutes or until they're translucent. I like to add a little bit of salt with the onions. It helps break down the onions a little bit faster. So after the onions are soft and translucent, add everything else. I like to add the cabbage first because the rest of the ingredients kind of weigh it down. Like I said, you're going to add, I'm actually adding like a chicken bouillon to this, so I add the water first and then put the broth in, but this is just going to be vegetable broth. If you want to use chicken broth, you can use that. You can use water if you want to use that, but you will need more salt and seasonings. So this is a broth. I'm adding in the bouillon and going to bring that to a boil covered for about 30 minutes. But once it boils, you're going to reduce the heat to a simmer. It might take 5 or 10 minutes to boil. You're going to cook that until the vegetables are soft. The beets are going to take the longest to cook. The sweet potatoes and carrots will be first. You taste it, add salt to taste. You look at the water. This looks okay. You might add a little bit more water later. I would just start with less water. I'm going to blend about 4 cups of this because I like this texture with smooth and chunky. You could blend it all. You could just leave it rustic. Main thing, add salt to taste. Like I said, add the water to the consistency or the broth the consistency that you like. And then serve with sour cream and dill. And you add salt and you add pepper to taste. You can find this borscht recipe at eatsimplefood.com.